Filmmakers, why did you call this movie X2 instead of just calling it X-Men 2? Like, come on, how hard is it to say X-Men 2? It's not hard. But despite that, X2 is a great sequel and better than the original, pretty much every way. Really, in hindsight, the first X-Men movie feels like an appetizer to the second one. Because not only does this one have a lot more going on, but expands upon every theme and character from the last film pretty well. And overall, the film holds up a lot better than the first X-Men movie. Not that the first one's bad, this one it's pretty good. One of the reasons why this one's so cool because the mutants are actually fighting against other humans, not Sentinels, but actual government officials. These assholes literally raid a mansion full of kids and try to put them in jail, all because of this asshole. This guy's one of the best X-Men villains, he doesn't even have any powers. He's just an asshole conservative guy who hates mutants, and his own fucking son who uses as a fucking slave. He represents an evil politician that showcases how much power they really have, even over people with superpowers. Basically, he couldn't accept his son for being different, so he can't accept mutants in general, so now he wants to wipe out every single one using Professor X. This guy's pure evil, and I kinda like it. He's done incredibly well. And he's also always fucking Wolverine since he's behind the Weapon X project, which causes him to forget his memories, basically. Fortunately, there's a shitty movie that explains it, but we'll get to that way later. This guy gets really fucked over in the end, so that's kinda great. Just seeing this change of wall is hilarious. It's great to see a human villain in this that actually represents the main themes of the film. You know you're bad when they have to team up with Magneto in order to save the day. Yes, they have to team up with their main villain, which is so great, I love it. The Magneto's down all his people from last movie. It's literally just him and Mystique, who, they get a lot done, so they don't really need fucking Total Sabretooth, who are fucking useless. And one thing about these X-Men movies is they really like the character Mystique, who is a main villain in the comics, but here they really use her a lot. Like, she single-handedly breaks into the compound by herself. She even gives her the middle finger. I really miss this version of the character. I mean, I don't dislike Jennifer Lawrence, but this character doesn't even speak that much, but she does a lot just through her action. And yes, you can read her facial expressions through tons of blue makeup. So anyway, the main plot is that Shredder takes advantage of Professor X here. That sounds wrong when I say it. He doesn't take advantage of him that way. Which is impressive, since early in the film we could see that he has the power to freeze people in place. This is showcasing that Professor X is actually a really powerful mutant. We really didn't see this in the first film, but here, it's really scary actually. Good thing he's a good guy, right? Using his son's hypnosis powers, linked with Cerebral, he's able to make Professor X kill every mutant. Well, try to. The only problem with that is that they forgot that Magneto has that helmet that blocks that, so of course Magneto saves the day. So you think, oh, he's gonna turn over a new leaf. Just kidding. He takes advantage of the situation and decides that instead of killing all mutants, they're gonna kill all humans. This seems like an evil thing to do. But keep in mind, people in this movie are fucking evil as hell in this film, so it makes sense. It's weird that even this twisted view makes sense for this character to do something as evil as this. But yeah, this film gives us a lot of other stuff too, not just the mutant stuff. This film also gives us Nightcrawler, who was absent from the first film, and he's a fan favorite mutant, so it makes sense to introduce him. Despite being one of the main selling points of this film, he doesn't return in the next movie, which is really strange. But this next film has a lot of problems that we'll get into. Anyway, some of the iconic scenes in the movie are when the government raided the X Mansion, and Wolverine starts actually killing people, which he actually didn't do in the first film. And yeah, that's pretty cool. There's also Colossus in here, but he does nothing other than break a wall and carry a person. Some of the other scenes, the Iceman character who was barely in the first movie gets some development. We see a disapproving family who doesn't approve of him being a mutant, even though his powers are pretty cool. Pun intended. And they treat it like he's gay. They ask, okay, have you ever tried not being a mutant? Which is pretty clever. And one of the things I like about this is that his friend Pyro, who has the opposite power of him, decides that after viewing all this human crap, is that he thinks that the humans kind of deserve this, and he actually sides more Magneto, which is actually kind of interesting to actually see that process, because it does make sense in a way. Humans are scumbags. But yeah, this film is pretty fun, has a lot of stuff going. It also sets up the next film, which they tease would be the Dark Phoenix. They kind of tease this, but Jean Grey as a character doesn't really do a whole lot in this film, so it's kind of like, okay. Other than flirt with Wolverine for some reason, even though she's dating Cyclops, who also does nothing. Yeah, one of the confusing things about Wolverine in this film is that he digs on Jean, even though she's dating somebody. Like, no offense, Wolverine, but Storm is right there. And also Mystique wants to do him, but he decides to not do it. Like, come on, Wolverine, I know you have morals, but whatever. Also, the reason why Mystique wants to do it is because he beat her up in the last movie, and she finds that attractive, which is kind of funny, but I like this character. It's just a wild card. So he has no moral about killing people, he kills them, but when it comes to getting blue pussy, he's like, no, that's Magneto's girl, I guess, even though he's gay. But, yeah, come on, Wolverine, that would be the best sex of your life. You can transform into anybody. Though I'd probably do it with just her being blue, because that's really hot. Come on, why would he reject that? And yeah, that's about it for X2. There's a woman who has Wolverine powers, but they're like fingernails, and that's about it. and she has a weird death scene where it starts leaking out of her face. It's kind of gross. But yeah, other than that, X2 is an excellent sequel, and for the most part, improves on every aspect of the original film. It has a lot of things going for it. It's more exciting, more action, more character, more theme. It's better shot, it has better acting, it has everything that's better than the first film, so I highly recommend watching X2. And this is the final tier list. Not for the final one, all I'm talking about. The current tier list. X2 is our first one to be in the B tier, which is an 8 out of 10 in case you're wondering. I might have ranked it an A, but I just felt, it's a B tier. Pretty good. If you haven't watched and you're an X-Men fan, then I recommend it. It's not the best X-Men film, but it's up there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Next time, we'll be doing a bad movie, like X2, which is a good movie. See you then.